Well, hello everyone and welcome to a brand new video, and this is going to be my review of John Wick Chapter 4. So John Wick 4 is finally out in theaters and is once again directed by Chad Stahelski. Did I say that right? And of course you got Keanu Reeves back. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention I'm actually dressed up as John Wick, so I'm ready for this. Because you can't do a John Wick review without wearing a full black suit. Actually, this is the first time I'm wearing a full black suit, so this is actually really damn cool. Okay, so the story of this latest installment is pretty damn simple. It's a straight up continuation from the last movie, and John Wick basically has to fight a bunch of enemies just to get his freedom. That's the plot. And sure, I can sit here and say the story is pretty simple, but the question is the action really good? Are the characters fun to watch? Well, let me just tell you, yes, John Wick 4 has all of that. The first thing that I noticed while watching this film is really the cinematography and how beautiful this movie is. It's absolutely stunning. Oh my god, this is a visual treat. This is easily the best looking film out of the four. The use of colors, the use of lights, the wide angle lens. This movie looks terrific. There were actually certain shots in the movie where I was like, oh my god! Like, that's how beautiful this movie looks. Like, sure, they won't nominate this movie for best cinematography at the Oscars because it's probably just because it's an action movie. But this is some amazing cinematography, let me tell you. I also started remembering what the first film looked like, and the first film also looked good. Like, there was nothing wrong about it, but I do remember that there was like a gray tint, like, over the movie. I feel like I remember seeing a gray tint, but this movie really pushes the colors to 100. Contrasts are pure, like, you just see everything so clearly. Ugh, this movie looks so beautiful. So Keanu Reeves is back in this role and he's always great. Definitely nothing wrong with him, but there were times where I noticed how he says the word yeah a lot. And let me give you my best impression of Keanu Reeves in John Wick 4. All right, here we go. So he kind of like stands like this and he's like, yeah. That's how Keanu Reeves acts in this movie a lot. But he's amazing still. There are a lot of new side characters in this film, but the biggest standout is Donnie Yen. My god, Donnie Yen, he is awesome! Every time this guy was on screen, you are just mesmerized by his performance. The stunts, the way he moves, the way he fights and everything. But the thing that makes him more interesting is that he's a blind assassin, and in a way that makes him more badass, you know what I mean? Hiroyuki Sanada also makes an appearance in this film, and there's a scene where him and Donnie Yen are having a showdown, and wow, that was, oh my god, that was like seeing these two legends together fighting. Like, I was speechless. Like, I was just like, my jaw literally dropped during that scene. That was absolutely amazing. Bill Skarsgård is also in this movie, and he plays the main antagonist, and he's basically like my only little flaw with this movie because he's just kind of like that villain who's kind of like behind the scenes and not really doing much in the field, and it kind of just makes him kind of like a wussy, you know? Like, he's just there behind the scenes and he's making people like do stuff for him. Like, okay, that's the bad guy, okay, sure. You know the best way that I could actually describe this movie? This is almost like an action movie lover's wet dream.
Having a lot of wet dreams.
Like, I'm serious. This is an action movie lover's wet dream. No, but seriously, every action sequence is meticulously crafted and it's like non-stop in this movie. Sure, you get like little breaks here and there every 5 minutes, but after those 5 minutes with Bill Skarsgård or whatever, it goes right back into the action. Sometimes when you think an action sequence is over, another guy just pops out of nowhere and the action just continues. Like, it's like it could have ended there, but it just keeps on going. That's the brilliance of this movie. However, it's one thing to say that there's action all the time, but the question is, how is the action being done? And is it really good? Well, to answer your question, yes, it's really good. One of the best action movies of all time with some of the best action ever. The stunts they pull off, insane stuff. Also, it really helps to know that all the stunts are being done for real. Like, actual hand-to-hand combat, actual people like getting on top of each other, falling off staircases on each other. Like, sure, there might be some CGI when it comes to like moving cars on the streets of Paris so that they don't have any accidents or whatever. But when it comes to like the human stuff and running around, falling on top of each other, that's all real. Like, walking out of this movie, you already get some really iconic action sequences. There's a car chase, there's a hotel fight, there's an art gallery fight, a fight on a staircase. This movie is packed with stuff. There's even an amazing tracking shot that's like shot from above, like with the view of like the entire building, and you're just following John Wick. And this is like all one take. This is a one tracking shot, is with no cuts, and you're just seeing John Wick like mowing people down left and right, like from a shot from above. Oh my god, that left me speechless. That was fucking amazing. Kind of like looks like a video game, you know? Like, oh my god, that was so cool! And not only that, but this movie is almost 3 hours, and I'm gonna tell you this, I wasn't bored once during the movie. Because you could easily get bored at action that feels repetitive, but in this one, it doesn't, because it just builds and builds and builds, and every action sequence kind of like looks unique, you know? Like, it's not always the same thing. It has something different to offer every single time. Guys, John Wick Chapter 4 is once again an action movie lover's wet dream. Yeah. The beautiful cinematography, the colors, the lights, Keanu Reeves, Donnie Yen, and the entire cast, amazing. And all that make John Wick 4 a satisfying sequel. And with that, I'm gonna give John Wick Chapter 4 a 9 out of 10. In all honesty, I think John Wick Chapter 4 might be my favorite out of the franchise, just because the action sequences are on another level. Like, it's insane. Like, you can't just like watch my review and just be like, yeah, this is the best act. No, you have to see for yourself. Go watch John Wick Chapter 4 right now. I would almost describe this movie as like the Mission Impossible Fallout of the John Wick franchise, because you know Mission Impossible Fallout, that movie was on another level. So what did you think of John Wick Chapter 4? Let me know in the comments, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.